ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans around the world. This is All Access MMA.
We got Bam Bam, Bryan Barberena, back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Anthony Ivy at UFC Fight Night on September 12th. Bryan, how's it going? Live on location from the forest.
Yeah, man, it's going great. It's beautiful out today. Just taking advantage of the outdoors.
Yeah, I'm sure you have to do a lot of that now with COVID and everything. How has it been? Because you could be in worse places than Carolina doing a workout, right?
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. But I have thankfully I'm blessed, and it's either here and the farm, and two great places to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Before we get into your fight, I wanted to mention your teammate, Joe Selecki. Really impressive win last Saturday over Austin Hubbard. First guy to finish Austin Hubbard in the octagon. How cool was that? And I'm sure giving you a nice little boost heading into your fight.
Man, it was amazing. He went in there and, had a flawless performance, to say the least. I mean, he looked great from the very beginning, stand-up-wise, was landing the shots. And I think it opened up everything else, too. So just to get started, Selecki's a really skilled guy, man, and really excited for him, really happy for him. He's got a baby on the way, so nice to have some money in the bank when you got a child on the way. So super happy for him, and definitely gave me an extra boost of confidence to keep going.
Let's talk about you, though. It's been a while since we've seen you in the cage. June of last year was the last time we saw you in there, and I know you had some injuries or a injury. What was it that has been keeping you out of the cage for so long?
Yeah, I actually had a back surgery last September. So it'll be... When I step in the cage, I believe it'll be a year since my surgery. It's been over a year since my last fight. I was having a lot of issues going into it. And finally, they just got so bad that I needed to have it done. I wasn't able to get around. I wasn't able to function. I wasn't able to do anything. So the most important thing is my health. I got to be there for, my kids and everything. That's the most important thing, is being able to, be there for my wife and kids, and then, of course, my job fighting. So got the back surgery done, man, and it's been a long recovery, slow and steady. Just didn't want to, took everything the doctor said, everything my physical therapist said, and just took my time and built it back. And, man, I'm feeling great. I have no issues now. I've got full mobility, full everything. I had a nerve problem also with the back injury, so it was cutting off my nerves all the way down my leg. So that's completely gone, and everything, man. I feel better than I ever have. So got to give a quick shout out to my doctor, Dr. Cantor, for keeping the dream alive, keeping me healthy, and getting me back to it.
Absolutely. The man put you back together. As far as, the severity of this, because obviously back surgery is pretty serious, were there any talks that if, things didn't go well, that might lead to retirement? I know that's kind of serious, but when you're talking about the back or the neck or anything really bad like that, it can sort of lead to that. Was that ever something that crossed your mind?
Actually, yeah, because the first time I got my back checked, they told me, okay, yeah, you need surgery and you won't be able to fight again. And so I was like, well, I'm not having surgery, so I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to do everything I can outside of surgery to continue to fight. So it started with injections in the back to block the nerve pain and everything. And the first one worked great, worked for 3 months. And then after that, pain came right back. I got another one and did nothing. So at that point, they were like, yeah, you need to have surgery. And I was like, well, I'm not ready to stop. So, and I don't think I have to. So I did physical therapy. I found, I worked with Heather at the PI, and then she helped me get in contact with David Flanagan here in North Carolina. And, man, they did an amazing job at keeping me in it and keeping me going and getting me back to the best I can. And then it just got so bad that, they told me, they were like, listen, you have no other choice right now. You have to have surgery. And I was like, okay. So I went and researched the best doctors that I could find, sports doctors that work with athletes, high-level athletes, to get my back redone and to optimize my chance of being able to keep fighting. So I did my research, found Dr. Cantor. He's in Pittsburgh. He's worked on many high-level athletes from the NFL to a couple of MMA athletes, and all sorts of sports. And, we went through it all. I went and he said, yeah, it's really bad. You need the surgery. And he said, there's a couple different options we can do. And so I went with the minimal option. It was like an X lift, it's called. It does fuse, but I needed they said that maybe in the future I'll need more work done for sure. That there's a chance that, whatever down the line, it could get worse again. But this was the minimal and the most effective that would relieve it. And if we had the best case scenario, I would relieve all my pain and all my movement would be back to normal. And I'd be, better than I ever have and feel great and be able to go. Well, all glory to God, man. Blessed. It was a smooth surgery. It's a minimally invasive. They go in from the side and they actually dilate all the muscles and everything and work their way through to the part that they need to take the disc out. Take the disc out and insert basically like a mesh framing disc in its place and realign my back and everything. So no muscles were cut or anything like that. So I didn't have to work through that. And man, it's been amazing. Like I said, all glory to God. It's been a smooth recovery and better than I ever been. That's
great. When did you actually get back to training full time? Because that was in September, like you said. When were you actually able to get in there? And I'm sure you were a little cautious too. You don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going stir crazy there I wasn't able to do anything for 6 months. At the 6 month period is when I started PT. And thanks to Knoxville Spine and Sports out there, they were taking care of me while I was home, doing my physical therapy. So Julia and Shonda, Dr. Bird out there, thank you guys. But yeah, man, I didn't get to start training for a while. I was on an all-time high for weight. First it started with baby steps, and there was times, I tried to push it, and ended up paying for it and hurting the next day or even later that day and calling in an emergency session for physical therapy to work on my back and get me feeling better. So I learned very quickly that I needed to take my time. So it was, 6 months started PT, and then, probably 2 months of that, man, to be honest, I started training, actually MMA training, probably maybe 2 months before I got the fight call. And it's because, I knew I wanted to get back to fighting, and I knew when I wanted to get back in my timeline. But I started working. I was all-time high for weight. I got up to 240. Heaviest I've ever been. And just kind of started slow, man. Got it back, started doing conditioning stuff at home, talking with my PT guy about some workouts I can incorporate to assist my back and keep me feeling good through the workouts. Started working out at Shield Systems, started working out with Scott Holtzman, going in and doing cardio conditioning sessions with him, obviously, all thanks to him, because he was really, making sure that I was doing the right things and making sure I was taking it slow. He knows how I am and how I get, and I want to, push and go. And he was really pulling the reins back on me and making me take my time. And man, I really thank him for that, because, ultimately it paid off. I didn't have to try to push through some pain or anything like that. So, he helped me get through the conditioning workouts and put them together for me and kind of got me started going back, and then mixing in MMA sessions at Shield Systems in Knoxville with Ben and all them. So just started slow. And then, I told Sean I wanted to fight late August, early September. And that was my goal, man. And he called me and said, okay, we got you a fight September 12th, let me know. And I said yes. And it was a different opponent at the time. And, it didn't matter, whatever. So I was just like, okay, yep, yeah, let's do it. And so I began, kind of amping things up just a tiny bit, and then trying to get ready to get in shape enough to come out here to North Carolina and train with these monsters out here. And so I finally did, and so came out here and started working with them. We took it slow in the beginning and worked on some things. I was still waiting on a contract for the fight, so I was just like, well, is this going to happen? Hopefully it's all set. But I was getting ready. Just like before, we altered my camp before for my injuries and everything. And this camp, we were able to open it up. We took it slow and kind of tested waters and figured out the best things that were going to work for me, and have definitely found a program that's working great. Jeff Jimmo, I mean, always the master, the Yoda, putting it together. Has a great game plan together for me. Also, my conditioning, my diet, he does it all, man. He does it all. So we're set. We're prepared. We're ready to go. I finally got my contract. Then it was Ivy. I got switched to Ivy, and so no matter the name, I was ready to go and happy to take the fight and happy to fight. Excited to be back and reintroduce everybody to Bam Bam.
Bam Bam 2.0, as they would
That's
say.
Right.
Post-surgery
Yeah.
Bam Bam.
Yeah.
I got to ask, though, because you did mention the weight there. How's the cut going now? Because that's crazy that you were 240. Like, I'm like 200 pounds. I mean, I don't fight for a living, obviously, but I'm like 200 pounds, like 6 feet. But I couldn't imagine even getting to 240 myself and having to fight at 170. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the cut now is going smooth. We got it under control, and thankfully, weight fell off, started to fall off at times. But man, let me tell you, when I was 240 and, I'm starting back at training and, haven't been able to do anything and out of shape and just dying through these workouts, man, I had to fight demons, man. I had to go through some things, fight myself and fight my mind and, mind telling me to just, quit and, are you going to be able to come? You're not going to be able to come back, kind of stuff like that, man. It's just like my mind trying to convince me out of finishing the workout, trying to convince me out of, just stopping and giving up. And man, it was a battle. And, I have my family, my wife and my kids, supporting me, around me and pushing me. And, my kids would come down in the garage, in the basement and get the workout in with me. And, that right there just motivates me, it's telling me that like, we're not done. We got to keep pushing. We got them right here watching you suffer. So we got to get through this and show them that it's possible to come back from something so great and something so big. So, we beat those demons up, man, just like we're going to do on Fight Night. We're going to beat them up and get through it, come back and be successful, man.
The thing I look at in this fight, too, with Anthony Ivy is you have a lot more fights than he does, and you've been in the UFC for a while. I think this is just his second UFC fight. How much do you feel like that's going to play a role in the fight?
I think my experience definitely, being in there and everything will help a little bit. But, I watched his UFC debut live. I didn't know anything about him. I had picked the other guy when they fought because my teammate David Machad had fought. He knocked
out Aguilera. That's right.
Yeah,
in LFA.
yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll go that guy because I know him. And, he ended up going in there and finishing Ivy, pretty quick. But I take that fight as a grain of salt, man. It doesn't mean anything to me. That fight doesn't show me anything. It doesn't tell me anything. It definitely doesn't show his skills and what he's good at and anything and how good he actually is. He was signed to the UFC for a reason, prospect, had a bright future outside. Man, slipped on a banana peel. That's all I got to say about it is whatever. You get through it. I'm sure he's going to come back, man, 100% and ready to get after me, especially after a performance like that. I'm sure he's real salty about it and wants to really make a statement and make up for it. So I'm expecting the best Ivy and him to bring all his skills and mix it up on me. So I'm excited.
How do you see the fight playing out on the 12th? You feel like you're going to get the win, but how do you envision the fight playing out, especially with this Bam Bam 2.0 thing you got going on?
Yeah, man, typical Bam Bam fashion. I plan to be vicious. I plan to be nonstop and a lot of pressure and get in his face and just cause a lot of damage is what I plan to do. It's cause a lot of damage.
Any pressure coming into your fight just with the losing streak, or do you feel like, now that we're going to see you injury free, and I mean, not a fully injury free, I mean, it's fighting, right? You're not at like 100%, but how, like, how do you feel going into this just mentally, just knowing that I'm sure there's a newfound confidence with what you got fixed, but also you got the losing streak as well. What's sort of the mentality?
Yeah, man. I feel great. I'm excited. I'm happy. My body's feeling great. I have nothing to be sad or worried about. My family's healthy. I'm able to fight still. I'm healthy. I feel better than I ever have. I've had a great camp thus far, and I'm continue to going to have a great camp. And man, I get to go out there and perform in front of millions of people, and even more now because of the whole COVID thing and everything. It's like more people are paying attention. And I get to go out there and put on a show for them, man. I'm just excited to do that, and I feel no pressure at all. And man, the two losses against some of the best in the division.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
look at the context.
You know, Brown lost his last fight to Vicente. You know, it's like, and I think he'll come back and do great things too. And I think Vicente is going to continue to do great things, but I think I'm going to do great things. So I'm going to just keep pushing forward, man. And all I got to do is just be the best me I can be happy, be positive, and go in there and unleash.
Last question, most important question in this interview. Has Scott Holtzman had you over to play Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball on that retro system, which, by the way, I hooked him up with?
He told me about that. I was actually going to
hit me up after this. If I'll tell you I can get one. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you got my number. Yeah. But yeah, as he had you over, because Scott is a retro gamer. He's like myself, and so you know, I know he's been playing that when he's not training.
So I've been over to Scott's because I've been training and stuff like that with him and hung out a little bit, but I have not. We have not played the game, but he has told me that he has it and we need to pull it out and play it. He has told me that. We've just been kind of like focused in the moment, and I've been really out of shape. And another reason for me to sit down and snack on something is not a good idea at the moment. So especially at that time, because I was real heavy. So he has not, but I'm sure it will happen, man.
Awesome. Bryan, I was going to call you Scott there for a second. My mistake. Great getting a chance to catch up with you, man. Really glad to hear everything went well with the surgery, and really excited to see you on September 12th in this fight against Anthony Ivy. If you got anyone you want to thank, I know you got plenty. I know you got some sponsors probably too. The floor is yours. I'll give you the last word.
Thank you. First off, I want to put it out there that make sure you guys tune in this weekend watching my teammate, my brother, Impa Kasung, and I make his UFC debut this weekend. He's fighting the guy, I can't remember his name, but it's Coconut Bombs.
Patolo, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's going to be an exciting fight. Those two matched together makes it an even more exciting fight. So Impa's trained hard, man. He's been a big piece of my camp, a big piece of my life, and helping me with recovery as well. And, man, really excited for him. This is a much-deserved debut, and could have got it sooner for sure, but it's the timing and everything. God has a plan. Secondly, I'd like to thank my wife and my kids, of course. My love, the love of my life, the biggest meaning of life right now is my wife and kids. Always has been the most important thing to me. Always there supporting me. So I love you guys. Diana Deegan Sheltevia, I love you. My gym, Jimmo, Jeff Jimmo, for putting it all together, man, and really turning my camp into exactly what I need. My fitness, my conditioning, my diet, all hand-plucked, all hand-picked, put together for me. He's the man. All my teammates, you guys know who you are. Thank you so much for all your help. My sponsors, Sweet James in California and Arizona. You need an attorney for your injury, call Sweet James. He's the man. The dense beard of justice. And then, Gold Club Canine Groups, always selling top-notch products for your dogs, supplements for your dogs, help them make sure they get their peak potential, and obviously, most importantly, their health and keeping them safe and healthy. Vital Proteins and Vital Performance, they're helping me in my camp this time around and continue to be partners in my camp, building me up, helping me recover, helping me strengthen, helping me sleep. They're doing it for me. Vital Proteins, Vital Performance. Thank you, guys. And I think that's it. I'm terrible at all memories. But, of course, my doctor again, Dr. Cantor. Thank you for keeping the dream alive. Thank you for keeping me safe from my family and healing me up. Knoxville Spine and Sports, Shonda, Julia, Dr. Burt, thank you so much for taking care of me. My physical therapist here in Gastonia, North Carolina, David Flanagan, the man, taking care of me, getting me right for my fight. Heather, for the PI, always thank you. The UFC, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking care of me and making sure I'm healthy and for booking me this fight. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to return, and I look forward to seeing you all And okay, I think we're done. And you, James. Thank you, my man. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.